Okay, we're going to start laying down on our backs today. So in a lying down a butterfly position, soles of the feet will come together, knees will open wide, and close your eyes. Supta Baddha Konasana. You can either rest your hands on your stomach or on the floor, maybe overhead, whatever feels good here to start out with. And just taking a few deep breaths, noticing how your body feels this morning, checking in, right? Seeing how it feels before we really get moving. And then connect to your Ujjayi Pranayama, breathing in and out through your nose, slightly constricting the back of your throat so you can hear the sound of your breath. And make your inhales and exhales a little bit longer so you can use that breath throughout the practice. And hug your knees into your chest, rock a little bit side to side, maybe draw a couple small circles on your lower back, moving in one direction and then moving in the other direction. Open up your arms out to a T and drop both knees to the left for a gentle spinal twist. Maybe turn your head, look to the right. And then we'll go the other way. Drop your knees to the right side, turn your head, look to the left side. Now we'll bring it to center. Keep your arms out to a T. We're going to wake up our core by extending the legs straight up, flexing the feet. Try to glue your legs together and then lower them towards the left, resisting gravity, going maybe halfway down or 3/4 of the way down, but trying to keep your right shoulder glued to the mat. If you start to feel that opposite shoulder lift up, you've gone too far with the legs. So bring them back to center and then use your obliques, resist gravity, take your legs to the right side, but keep your left shoulder down. And just start to move at your own pace, nice and slow from one side to the other. The whole time trying to relax your neck, keeping both shoulders glued to the ground and really using those obliques and core to resist gravity so you don't just drop your legs. And you want to keep both feet glued together. Sometimes one tries to slide in front of the other. Try to keep them side by side. Let's go one more time to each side. Just make sure you even it out, right? You've done both sides the same amount of times. And then we'll bring it back to center. Lift yourself up now and reach your fingertips towards your toes. Lift your head and shoulders off the ground. Oh, hold on. Let me let someone into the class. All right. Now, once we're in that crunched up position, we're basically going to go opposite hand to foot. So your right hand's going to tap the outside of the left ankle or as close as you can get to it. And then you switch and you go to the other side. So from one side to the other, tapping the outside of the ankle or the foot. Good. Again, you're just waking up your core a little bit here. 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place your head on the ground. Place your hands right next to your hips. Now we'll do our leg raises going straight forward. So you start to lower your legs as far as you can towards the floor without arching your lower back. And then you lift them back up. So you might go halfway down, 3/4 of the way down. You might go all the way to a hover. Find your own range of motion and just keep it slow and controlled up and down with those legs. Resisting gravity, pulling that belly button in, right? Pressing that lower back into the mat. So you're using your core and you're not straining or arching your lower back. And your hands are just pressing into the floor next to your hips, but try not to put them under the hips. Good. One more time. Take it as low as you can and just hold it and then hover there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Take a nice full body stretch. Reach your arms overhead, reach your legs long, get as tall as you can. Hug your knees in, rock and roll like 2 or 3 times. Massage your spine until you're ready to come up to seated. Navasana, boat pose. Once you come to seated, grab behind your hamstrings, sit up really tall, lengthen your spine, and then lift the legs. You can start with your knees bent. You can let go of those hamstrings and reach your arms forward. If this feels okay and you want to add on, you can try to straighten your legs. If you feel like that's too much on the hips and not really the core, then just keep the knees bent. Keep lifting your chest up tall and just hold for 5. We're just balancing here in our boat pose. 4, 3, 2, a 1. Place your feet on the floor, reverse tabletop. So your feet are hips width distance. Bring your hands about a foot behind you, fingers pointing forward. Lift your chest and then try to lift your hips. So you should feel a nice stretch in the front of your shoulders. You can keep your chin down or you can maybe let your head fall back. It's a good counter pose for when we do lots of chaturangas because it stretches the front of the shoulders. Good, let's lower the hips, come back to one more Navasana boat pose. Lift your chest, abs in, legs can be bent or straight, but either way, I want you to take both hands now and twist them to the right and hold, just looking to that right side for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Twist it to the left side and keep holding. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Now, place your feet down. You can repeat reverse tabletop or you can go reverse plank. You straighten the legs, point your toes. The arms are the same. The only difference is now the legs are straight, right? Reverse tabletop or reverse plank or Uttanasana. Again, only drop the head back if that feels okay. If that feels weird, just keep your chin in and look straight ahead. Good. Lower down, cross your legs, just roll over your knees and come into your first child's pose. So take your big toes together, your knees wide for your child's pose, forehead down, and take a few deep breaths to reset there. And reconnect to your breath, right? If you lost that Ujjayi breath, reconnect to your breath. From child's pose, walk your hands to the right side of the mat, placing your left hand on top of the right. And then go the other way. Walk it to the left side, put your right hand on top of your left. And then we'll bring it to center, tabletop position, to your hands and knees. Inhale, drop the belly, arch your back, gaze up, cow pose. Exhale, tuck your chin in, round your back for cat. Inhale, as you arch, just starting to warm up your spine a little bit more. Exhale as you round. One more time. Inhale to arch. Exhale to round. Then find a neutral spine. For our thread the needle, take your right arm, lift it up, and thread that right arm through. Putting your head down, walking your left hand forward. Maybe if it feels good, crawling it a little bit more to the right side to twist deeper here. Let's come back to tabletop, reset. And switch sides. Peel your left arm up, thread it through, put your head down, walk that right hand forward, maybe a little bit to the left side. Then reset in tabletop again, back to your hands and knees. Now re-engage your core that we warmed up at the beginning. Right arm forward, left leg back, getting your balance, right? Opposite arm and leg. Then as you exhale, bring your knee and elbow into touch or as close as you can get them. Inhale to extend and reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. One more time. Knee to elbow, pull it in. Then extend it out. Now you can hold it here and just balance or bend your flying leg. Take your right hand back. Maybe you can grab that left foot and kick it away from you to find a little bit more of that back bend feeling. Good. Then you just let go and stretch it back out and then place it down. And we'll switch sides. Left arm, right leg, finding your balance. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. One more time. Knee to elbow, pull it in. Then extend it out and hold it here if you want. Or if you want that back bend, bend the leg, grab the foot, and maybe kick it back a little bit. Good, we stretch it back out, place it down, and then we'll meet in our first downward facing dog. So plant your hands shoulder width, tuck your toes, lift your hips up. And first one, it's always good to move around a little bit. Bend one leg at a time, stretching your calves, your hamstrings, maybe doing the same thing with the arms, right? Just moving around, noticing how your body feels today for that first down dog. And then when you're ready, you shrug your shoulders away from your ears, kind of settle in, pressing your heels towards the floor. They might not reach yet, right? But over time, they're going to get closer and closer. Inhale, shift forward just to a high plank position on your hands and your toes. So your shoulders, elbows, wrists should be stacked. You're in a straight line, right? This is where your hands and feet should be for down dog. So don't move them. Exhale, lift your hips, down dog. Inhale forward, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale forward, high plank. Exhale back, down dog. This time, look forward and walk your feet to the front. Take a couple little steps. Ragdoll, feet hips width, bend your knees, and grab opposite elbows. And then maybe shake your head yes, shake your head no, relaxing your neck. You can also sway a little bit side to side, shifting the body weight from the right foot to the left foot. Maybe a little forward and back from the balls of the feet to the heels. Just get a nice stretch into your lower back. Let everything really hang here in your ragdoll. Release the arms, roll yourself up to stand, one vertebra at a time. Nice, when you get to the top, we'll lift those arms all the way up. Your right hand grabs a hold of that left wrist and pull it to the right. So you get that little side body stretch from standing. And then we switch. Your left hand grabs your right wrist, pull it over to the left. Back to center. Try to interlace your fingers behind your lower back or hold on to a strap or a towel. Look up, open your chest, bend your knees slightly, and then start to fold forward, keeping the hands interlaced. Release the clasp of your hands. Hands can come to the floor or to yoga blocks. Cross your right foot all the way behind your left foot. So your left leg is crossed in front. And then you start to fold over your legs. Now again, if the hands don't reach the floor, you can use blocks. You can bend the knees if you need to. If your legs are straight and you want to add on, try walking your hands over to the left edge of your mat. Back to center, switch the cross of the feet. So now your right leg should be in front, folding straight forward over the legs or walking the hands to the right edge of your mat. Good, back to center. Uncross the feet, bring them together now right in the middle. Inhale, lengthen to a flat back. Fingertips can be on the shins or on the floor. As you exhale, step to plank. And our first chaturanga, we're going to modify. So everyone bring the knees down. Hug your elbows in, slowly lower to the ground. Untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra pose, just a small back bend. Exhale, back down. Good, push up to your knees to your modified plank. Then tuck your toes under to meet back in down dog. And remember, whenever you need to modify chaturanga or up dog, you can take that variation right there. Lift your right leg up. Let's step in between the hands for a low lunge. So you're going to drop your left knee down. Make sure your right knee's over your ankle. And then start with your hands on the thigh, just so you can sink into that left hip flexor stretch. Hands can stay here on the thigh. If you want to add a little more of a back bend, lift your arms and gaze up. Hands can be shoulder width, or you might try to press your palms together. Now bring your hands to prayer position at the center of your chest. Twist a left elbow outside the right leg, working on pressing through the palms to bring them closer to the center of your chest as you twist. And now as we untwist, lower the hands to the floor for your half splits. Straightening the right leg, flexing the foot. Hands can be on blocks if they don't reach the floor. And then bow over your right leg, bringing your nose towards your knee or your shin, stretching into the back of the leg, the hamstring and the calf. Now rebend the leg just so you can get your hands to the mat, and this time just go straight to down dog. No chaturanga, step back, reset in your down dog. Then we'll switch sides. Lift the left leg up, step it forward to a low lunge. Drop your right knee down. Take as many steps as you need to make sure that knee's over the ankle, and then bring your hands to that left thigh, sinking into this right hip flexor stretch, that back leg. If you want to add the back bend, lifting the arms up and the gaze up, hands could still be apart, or if it's okay on the shoulders, you might press the palms together. Then bring your hands to prayer position at the center of your chest. Twist right elbow outside that left thigh, actively pressing through the palms and lengthening your spine to help you twist deeper. Lower your hands back down to the floor or blocks, half splits, straightening that left leg, flexing the left foot, and bowing over your left leg. Good, let's rebend that leg and get your hands to the floor and just go back to your down dog again, resetting in down dog. Look forward, step or hop, both feet up to meet your hands. Feet together. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Use that long flat back. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands come to heart center, Tadasana mountain pose. All right, sun salutation A, Surya Namaskara A. We're going to practice it 3 times today. Remember, you can modify if you need to. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale to a flat back, and then as you exhale, you step to plank, and from your toes or your knees, chaturanga, low push-up, lower halfway, hugging those elbows in. Inhale to your up dog or your cobra, whichever back bend is better for you, and then exhale back, downward facing dog. Look forward, step or hop, right back to the front. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, 2 more times. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, lengthen to a flat back. Exhale, you can step or you can add the hop back if you want. Chaturanga, lower halfway. Inhale, up dog or cobra pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. And we just take 1 breath, right? We don't really hold it long. We look forward, step or hop, back to the front. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last time, 1 more time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step or hop, chaturanga, hug those elbows in, lower halfway. Inhale, up dog or cobra, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward, step or hop, back to the front. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Just reset, right? Take a deep breath here. Should start to feel warmed up from those 3 sun A's. But now we're going to do sun B 1 time. Sun salutation B. That's the one where we add in our chair pose and our warrior 1. So starting in mountain, lift your arms up and bend your legs. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Squeeze those knees and feet together. Then exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to your flat back. This part's the same. Exhale, step back. Chaturanga, any variation. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. And then we add in our warrior 1. So lift the right leg up first. Step in between your hands. Pivot your back heel, flat on the ground. Lift your arms up, warrior 1, Virabhadrasana A. Hips are square to the front. Good. Exhale, your hands come to the ground and you step your way back to your chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Other side, lift your left leg up, step it forward. Ground your right heel down, right? Square your hips and lift the arms up. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana A. Exhale your hands down to the mat, step back. Chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now it always starts and ends with that chair. So we look forward, step or hop back to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. From your fold, bend your knees. Utkatasana, chair pose. Lift those arms. Good. Then exhale, press up to your mountain pose. Hands to heart center. Very nice. Take a deep breath. Reset. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Separate your feet about hips width distance. Padangustasana, your peace fingers, like you're making a peace sign, hook onto your big toes. Inhale, lengthen your spine first, and then exhale to fold. Relax your neck, lay your elbows back to the side. Just noticing maybe if your hamstring is a little bit more warmed up, right? Maybe you can get them a little straighter or fold a little deeper now that we've warmed up. Now, if you want to play with your crow pose, you can play with Bakasana. If you want to skip the arm balances today, you could stay here in your forward fold, right? If you want to practice your crow, plant your hands shoulder width, walk your feet back a little bit. Bend your arms to make a shelf and put your knees on the shelf, up nice and high. Make sure you're looking forward past the edge of the mat. Stick out your chin and then start to lean forward. As your shoulders come more forward, those toes will get lighter. You could start with just 1 foot at a time. Maybe both feet, maybe it's just for a split second, right? And then over time, you're able to hold it longer and longer. The key is that shifting of the shoulders forward, right? Which is sometimes the scary part, but that's why you got to look forward so that way you don't land on your head, right? If you're looking past the edge of the mat, as you lean forward, you're sticking on your chin, you're not going to land on your head. And your arms stay a little bent, right? To make that shelf. We don't need to lock out the arms. Try it a couple times. And then when you're done, we'll meet in child's pose. There's no rush, but we'll reset in our child's pose. Take a deep breath there. Now let's set up for dolphin pose. So dolphin is like down dog, but on the forearms. So first, I always like to measure it out. Grab onto the triceps. That's just telling you where your elbows go. You don't keep your forearms there, but you keep your elbows here as you extend the forearms. So that your palms are flat. There's maybe like 1 inch or 2 of space between your thumbs. Your elbows should end up directly under your shoulders, right? Your arms should look like the number 11. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up. Again, it's like down dog, but with your forearms down. So it's a lot more work on your shoulders. You have to actively push the floor away with your forearms to make as much space here between your head and the floor as you can, right? Building that strength in your shoulders. Now walk your feet together right in the middle there. You can stay holding here or maybe lift one leg up in the air and then hold for 5. Still in our dolphin for 4, 3, good, 2, 1. Switch legs. If you have a leg up, lift the other leg up. Stay in dolphin. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now child's pose. This time bring your knees all the way together in your child's pose so you can take your arms alongside you. Let those shoulders round forward. Let them relax. Tabletop position. We'll set up for puppy pose, a good counter stretch to that dolphin. So puppy pose, your hips stay up in the air as you walk your hands forward and you think of melting your chest to the ground, right? But the hips stay high. Your forehead might come down or you might get your chin to the ground. You're trying to think of chin and chest melting towards the floor, stretching into your shoulders and your back here. Walk the hands in and now we'll meet back in our regular downward facing dog. Hands shoulder width, feet hips width. Lift your right leg up, step it forward back to your warrior 1 position. So kind of like what we did in Sun B, right? Our back heel is on the ground. We square the hips and then we lift the arms up. But this time we'll stay here. So find your Virabhadrasana A. Interlace the fingers behind your lower back or you can hold onto a strap. Inhale, look up and open your chest. Exhale as you bow forward, humble warrior. So your right shoulder can rest right on top of that right thigh. Or maybe if you get there, you start to move it just slightly to the inside of it. But your head still stays close to the leg. And over time, your head's going to get closer and closer to the ground, right by your foot. Good. Lift your arms back up. Warrior 1, all the way up with the arms. Now, open the feet and the hips for warrior two. So walk your back foot out a little wider. Warrior two should be a longer stance than warrior one. Your right heel should line up with that left arch, and your arms are out like a T. Good. Look at your right hand. Flip the palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale into modified side angle. Right elbow to the thigh, and take a half bind. Wrap your left arm, your top arm behind your back, either to your lower back, your hip. Maybe you can grab, you can see my left hand grabbing my thigh. It might not reach there, but you get as close to there as you can. And if it's okay on the neck, look up to the ceiling over that left shoulder. So you're rotating the chest and shoulder open. Good. Undo your bind and come back up to your regular warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. And then exhale, windmill to the front and step back. Chaturanga from the toes or knees, or just skip it if you want. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, lift your left leg up, step it forward, starting in our warrior one. Virabhadrasana A, ground down through the back foot, square your hips and lift the arms up. Now, interlace the fingers, but try to notice how you interlace. Can you put the other thumb on top? It might feel a little awkward. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, bow forward, humble warrior. Left shoulder right on the thigh or just slightly to the inside of it. Stretching those arms away from your lower back. Drop your head, relax your neck, and just try to get as low as you can here. Lift yourself back up to your regular warrior one. Lift the arms up. And then open up the feet. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana B. Longer, wider stance. Hips are open, deep bend in that front leg. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, modified side angle, starting with the left elbow on the thigh, and then going for that half bind, wrapping the right arm behind your lower back, your hip, maybe wiggling it through all the way to that hip crease, and rolling that right shoulder back. If it's okay on the neck, again, traditionally we look up towards the ceiling over that shoulder. Undo the bind, come back up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach back. Exhale, windmill to the front and step back. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift your right leg up, lizard pose. Step your right foot outside your right hand. Drop your left knee on the ground and untuck the toes. So today we're just doing the traditional version of lizard, where the knees over the ankle, all 5 toes point forward, and your hands, elbows, or blocks are down on the inside of that right foot, stretching into your hip. Just try to get as low as you can. So even if your elbows are not down, maybe one elbow's down, or again, if you have blocks, you can put your elbows on blocks. Press up to your hands, no chaturanga, just go to down dog, and then we'll switch sides. So when you're ready, you'll lift the left leg up and step it to the outside of that left hand, putting that right knee down. Again, knee right over the ankle, all 5 toes pointing forward, and then hands, elbows, blocks, whatever you can reach on the inside of that left foot. Back up to your hands. We'll meet back in our down dog again. Lifting the right leg up, step it forward again to warrior one. Virabhadrasana A to start, back heel down, arms up. Good. This time from your warrior one, bring your hands to prayer position, lean forward. Warrior three, you float your left leg up. So warrior three, your body's in a T shape. You can keep the hands in prayer, or you can reach your arms forward, biceps by your ears. right? Try to square your hips so that these left toes, flying toes, are pointed towards the floor, and you're aiming for the leg about parallel to the floor in this pose. Then from warrior 3, lower your hands down, standing splits. Now your leg might lift higher as your nose gets closer to the right leg, but without opening the hip. So the hip is still square as you lift it higher. Hands can be on the blocks or the floor, or right hand can grab the back of the right ankle. Bring your fingertips to the floor, start to bend your right leg, take a big step back to your warrior 1. Always set the feet first, you have your balance, and then lift your arms up back to warrior 1. Good, feel the difference again as you open to warrior 2. Walk your back foot out wider, open the hips, find that heel to arch alignment. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale to side angle. One more time here. Now this time you can repeat the half bind, left arm behind your back, or you can go for the full bind, reaching your right arm through the inside of the leg, seeing if you can find that left hand, clasping on, and then pulling that left shoulder back. Your hands are going to try to be around your hip or your hamstring, and you're rolling that left shoulder back again, maybe looking up towards the ceiling over that left shoulder. Good, release your half or your full bind and come up to warrior 2. Straighten your right leg, walk your left foot in like 1 or 2 inches closer, just a little bit, slightly turned in for our triangle. Shift your hips back, reach forward, right hand on the shin, ankle or foot with straight legs, left arm straight up to the ceiling. So if you can't reach your ankle, that's fine, right? Just keep your hand on your shin. If you have blocks, you can also place your right hand on a block. Lift yourself back up, readjust your feet to come back to warrior 2, walking that back foot out, rebending your front leg. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill your hands down and step back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Take a couple deep breaths to reset, and then we'll do the other side, lifting the left leg up. Big step forward, warrior 1. Last time on this side. So get your balance here. Bring your hands to prayer. Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana C. Lean forward and then start to lift up your right leg. Flexing the foot. Again, hands can stay in prayer or you can reach your arms forward, biceps by your ears. Either variation, your legs are the same, right? Flexing the foot, squaring the hips, aiming for the leg about parallel to the floor. Then lowering the hands for standing splits, and maybe now as you go forward with the torso, the leg goes up higher. Hands on the floor, the blocks, or left hand to your left ankle, pulling your nose closer to that left leg. Fingertips to the floor, start to bend your left leg, take a big step back. Set your right heel down first and lift your arms up, warrior 1. Open it up, warrior 2, last warrior 2 for today. Find that nice deep warrior 2. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Half bind with the right arm behind the back, or maybe the full bind. Reaching that left arm through, trying to find the hand. And you might feel it's different from one side to the other, right? That's okay. Just do your best here to even it out. Roll that right shoulder back and take a few deep breaths here. Undo your bind, come up to warrior 2, shake out those arms if you need to, and then we'll straighten the left leg, and as we do so, we'll walk the right foot in, like 1 or 2 inches for our triangle. Shift the hips back, reach forward, left hand can be up higher on the shin, maybe the ankle or the foot, or maybe a block. Right arm goes directly up towards the ceiling. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Good, use your core to lift you back up and then adjust that back foot and rebend your front leg to find your warrior 2 again. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down and step back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step to the front of the mat, roll yourself up to stand. And then face the long side of your mat. So open up your feet wide, maybe a couple feet apart here, parallel for our straddle forward fold. We'll interlace the fingers behind your lower back. Inhale, look up, open your chest. And then exhale, bow forward, keeping the hands interlaced, just dropping the head, relaxing the neck. Release the clasp of the hands. Walk your hands through the middle now and fold a little deeper. Walk both hands over to the left side. Grab your ankle or calf on the left side and pull your nose towards that leg. Good. Take it the other way. Walk it over to the right leg. Pull your nose closer to the right leg. And back to center. Find a flat back like a table. Right hand directly under your nose. Twist and peel the left arm up. And you can just twist it straight up, or you can wrap it behind your back for a little half bind, kind of like we did in side angle, and rotate open a little more. Good. Switch sides. Unwrap that arm. Put your left hand down. Twist. Peel the right arm up. Holding in the twist or adding the half bind. Right arm behind your back. Nice. Unwrap it. Come back to center. Put a little bend to your knees. Hands to hips. Slowly stand up. And we'll step to the front. I'm just going to back up so you guys can see. Eagle pose. Garudasana is our standing balance pose. So start with your feet together. Bend your knees a little bit like you're doing a chair pose almost. And cross your left leg on top of your right. You can put your toe on the floor like a kickstand to help you balance, or single wrap, or some of you might get your foot all the way behind your calf for a double wrap. Arms are opposite of the leg. So left arm goes on the bottom. You can cross your arms and hug your shoulder blades. You could try to get your backs of your hands to touch, or double wrap, getting the palms to touch. Lift your elbows up and push your forearms away from you. So keep your knees bent. Good. Squeeze the inner thighs. Focus your eyes here to help you balance, right? It's a balancing pose. You're standing on one leg. You're also getting that stretch. Now, if your balance feels good, you want to add on, you can slowly, just 1 inch at a time, bring your elbows towards your knees, like a little crunch. Maybe just barely tapping the elbows down to the knees, just holding it for 1 second. And then you reverse it. If you came down, you slowly come up 1 inch at a time. Good. It's a little test of your balance to be able to move at the same time. Release, shake it out. Switching sides, Garudasana Eagle. Bend your legs, right leg crosses on top, single or double wrap, or put your toe on the floor. So right leg is on top, right arm is on bottom. Hug the shoulder blades, or backs of the hands, or palms together. Push your elbows and forearms away from you. You should feel that stretch between your shoulder blades. First, just getting your balance, focusing your eyes on one point. And then if you want to add the variation, you can slowly start to bring your elbows towards the knees. Again, taking your time, just holding it for a second at the bottom. And then you reverse it. Nice and slow, you come back up. Maybe just hold it for one more second once you do get to the top, and then we'll all release and shake it out. Meeting at the top of the mat if you're not there for your Tadasana mountain pose. Feet together, hands to prayer position, reset here. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back. Our last chaturanga for today. So one final chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Then we'll shift to a plank and lower to the ground. So just bring yourself all the way down to your stomach. We're going to take a chest shoulder stretch. You have two options. If you know your chest and shoulders are pretty tight, your right arm's going to go straight out like a T. We have done, some opening today though. So if you're ready to go for the deeper variation, bend it 90 degrees. So your right arm would look like this, like a cactus, right? Elbow directly in line with the shoulder, just on the floor. Then put your right ear on the ground and push into this left hand to roll you over. So you're laying on the right side of your body. You can stack the feet or take your left leg, your top leg, and put it on the floor behind you like a little kickstand. And wherever you're at, just relax your neck and your head and focus on that stretch on the right side, right? The shoulder and the chest. Again, if you decide with the straight arm, you're not feeling much of a stretch, bend your arm to a 90-degree angle. Good, back to center and switch sides. So left arm, either straight out to the side like a T, or bend your elbow 90 degrees. If you bend it, double check that it's really that 90-degree angle with the elbow right in line with the shoulder. Then put your left ear down, push into your right hand to roll over. So now you're laying on the left side of the body, stacking the feet, or maybe putting that right foot on the floor behind you for that kickstand. Bring it to center. Forehead down. Take your arms by your hips like airplane arms, palms face down. And we'll lift everything up. So your chest, your arms, your legs, using the strength of your back to lift here into this back bend. And hold for 5. We're just doing a couple today. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Let one ear come to the mat. Let everything relax. Now you can repeat the airplane arms, or you can interlace your fingers together at your lower back. Forehead or chin down, Shalabhasana, locust pose. Everything else is the same. So you lift back up, lift your hands away from the tailbone if they're interlaced, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other ear down, relax. Last one, we're gonna reach arms forward, Superman. So separate your feet for this one, just about hips width distance apart. Your thumbs point up, palms are facing each other, and then lift everything back up. See if you can lift your arms right in line with your ears and hold. Last 5, 4, lift your legs, 3, 2, 1, release. Very nice. Press back to a child's pose and reset your spine. And you can choose which variation of child's pose, whatever feels best to you. Okay, now we're just gonna have a seat. So have a seat. If you have a yoga strap or a towel, you're probably gonna want it here. But we've been doing a lot of shoulder opening, but also a little bit of hip opening as well, so that we can work on cow face pose today. It's a very deep stretch because you're opening up your hips and your shoulders at the same time, right? Now, one variation for the legs is just to cross your right shin in front of your left, especially if you feel your hips are pretty tight. You could just go cross-legged, and then we'll switch when we switch sides. Or you can try to stack your knees. See how my right knee is over my left knee. And for the legs, if you start with your feet kind of closer to your butt, it's usually a little easier. As you get more comfortable with it, you can start to move your legs out till one day you're aiming for your shins in a straight line and the feet flexed. And you might notice your right hip lifts off the ground. That's okay. Over time, though, you are trying to push it down. So you're doing your best to keep both hips on the ground. Again, if this bothers your knee or is too tight, even with the feet close to you, go back to that cross-legged position. Now, the arms are opposite of the legs. So because I have my right leg on top, my left elbow is the one that's going to point up. And if I want to use the strap, I'm just going to take it in one hand and throw it down my back and walk my right hand up the strap. So I'm trying to get my hands as close together. Some of you might not need the strap, right? You might be able to get your hands to touch without the strap. If not, from behind, it looks like this, right? So I have the strap in my top hand, and then I just kind of crawl my hands closer and closer together until one day they're going to touch, right? Or ideally. So you have this bind in your arms, this deep shoulder stretch, but also this cross in the legs for the hip stretch. The last part would be to fold forward. It does get more intense as you fold. So if you need to, loosen up your hands. Okay, we're not going to hold the bind in the arms for too long. So just take a couple more breaths. And then you're going to release the arms, but keep the legs. Okay, so you can release the arms and just continue to fold over your legs, either hands on the ankles or arms out in front of you. Same thing if your legs are crossed, right? If you're in that seated cross-legged position, you're still trying to fold forward over your legs. So then now you're just stretching the hips. You can let the shoulders relax because you don't have to worry about that bind with the arms anymore. But now let's come up and we'll do that pose on the other side. So shake it out a little bit. Gomukhasana, cow face pose. Okay, so start with the legs. If you're sitting cross-legged, make sure you switch your legs. So now the left shin is crossed in front of the right, or if you did that side, just make sure you switch sides. So even if you're sitting cross-legged, it's still important to switch the cross of your legs. Or you're going to stack your knees and maybe start with your feet really close to your butt. Maybe wiggle those feet out, working again over time, shins and feet in a straight line, flexing the foot. They don't have to be all the way out there. They could be somewhere in between, right? They could be right next to your hips. They could be a couple inches out, a little further out over time. Push this hip down. Now, right arm is the one that goes up. If you're using the strap, take it in that right hand, put it down your back. Left arm walks up the strap, right? Some of you, again, you might find one side is very different, right? Sometimes I can touch on one side and not the other. So you just go as far as you can on this side, and then maybe you fold. If it's too much when you fold, loosen your bind a little bit, or just come back to a seated upright position. We'll take a few breaths here, keeping the bind in the arms. Good, then release the arms and just keep the legs and fold over your legs, maybe holding the ankles or walking the hands out. If your left hip starts to lift, try to think about pushing it down, right? Try to be heavy on that left hip to keep your hips on the ground. Let's come up, shake out those legs. And now you can just bring them straight out in front of you for Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. So legs out straight, feet flexed. If you still have the strap, you can always put that around your feet too. Sit up tall, lengthen, and then forward fold. Keeping the feet flexed and folding over your legs. Slowly come up. We'll roll ourselves all the way onto the ground. And then earlier we did a spinal twist. Now we're going to take a little different variation, right? So both arms will still go out to a T, but this time we're going to cross the legs. Right knee over the left, kind of like you just did in that cow face pose. So right leg is crossed on top. Move your hips just an inch or two to the right first, and then you'll drop your knees to the left. So right leg is on top as you twist your knees to the left. And then if it's okay on the neck, you turn your head, look to the right. So it's a cross-legged version of your spinal twist. Bring the legs through center and switch the cross of the legs. Left leg crossed over the right. Move your hips an inch or two to the left. Then twist the knees to the right side. Maybe turn your head, look to the left. Maybe close your eyes. You're just coming into your final pose here before Shavasana. Bring it to center, uncross those legs. Let's wrap the arms around the shins. Give yourself a big hug. Pull your forehead up to your knees, curling up into a tight little ball. And then letting everything go as you come into your Shavasana, your final relaxation. Extending the legs out long, letting the feet fall open, maybe about as wide as your mat. Arms relax alongside you with the palms facing up. Take your shoulders, shrug them down away from your ears to keep your neck long. And as you close your eyes, clear away any last remaining thoughts. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth. And as you let it go, let your muscles relax even deeper into the floor. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to bring some small movements back into your body. Maybe draw a couple circles with the wrists and ankles, moving them in both directions. Maybe gently move your head a little bit side to side. Anything that feels good to you. And when you feel ready, we'll take the arms overhead, reach the legs long, and create that nice full body stretch, getting as tall as you can. Hug your knees into your chest, keeping the eyes closed, rolling to one side, coming into a fetal position. Then use the hands to help guide you up into a comfortable seated position, crossing the legs, sitting up tall. Hands come together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. And take a couple last deep breaths here, scanning your body, noticing how it feels after your yoga practice today. Let's take one more nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth, letting it go. And then lifting your hands to your forehead, your third eye center, and bowing forward. Namaste.